Well, this is the very first time in my life, somehow, I've actually been here. Tualatin River National Wildlife Refuge, which has been in my backyard my entire life. Tualatin is the actual name of Tualatin. So what you see here is actually meant to be this. And supposedly, for whatever reason, I don't know how much I believe it, people who first named Tualatin somehow corrupted this in translation into Tualatin from Tualatin. I don't understand how that's even possible, but go for it. Anyway. So apparently got some sort of a restoration project going. That's good. I like seeing the wetlands. So what's becoming a really big trend right now in terms of wildland restoration is basically just mimicking beavers and then eventually maybe trying to bring back beavers. Technically, they'd never probably bring back beavers in a metropolitan area most of the time, unless they have a lot of greenway space, because it's going to be, everybody's probably going to be, unfortunately, very city slickerish towards it. But that's what I like seeing. In fact, there you go. Bucktooth losers right there. The adorable bucktooth loser. But that's pretty cool. Obviously, the visitor center is over here. That's the main place. This is actually bathrooms, apparently. Yeah. Dorky. Let's go. So, we got the seasonal trail, which, by the way, this is the 21st of September I am here in 2023. So, this is seasonal, and it closes every year at the 30th of September. And this one is open year round. This is only 2 miles round and back. This one is, I believe, 4 total miles itself. So technically, I think it's either 6 total miles, or it's actually 4 collectively. I'm not entirely sure. I'm definitely taking this one though. Actually, I should take advantage of filling my water bottle again before I go. So that's what I'm gonna do. This again, I'm confident is Queen Anne's lace, because we've always had this rampant everywhere. But it could also be camas. I don't think it's camas though, because if I recall correctly, the way you can tell the difference is that that little tiny middle flower. If you look at it, see how it's kind of purple? That apparently, I can't get it close enough. That apparently is the key sign that it's in fact an identifier that is in fact a Queen Anne's lace. Apparently, you have to use the cutoff in order to come back, even though this is open. I mean, but okay. It's a one-way use, I guess. That's really interesting. Look at all the cottonwoods. That's one thing about cottonwood trees I've always found interesting, is that they are like so... Look at that. Look at all of them. It's just, they're so over the top. Like, you get one cottonwood tree, like this sucker up here, right? These two, technically, because there's one over there, but it's not as old or as big. Yeah, these guys. But... and that is what produced all of those. They're just so prolific. Got a little bit of an oak savanna going on, of course. It's one really cool thing about Oregon is that we have like a very unique ecosystem environment type, which is these oak savannas made of all these Oregon white oaks. It's just extremely cool. And of course you have other oaks in there too. You might have a pin oak, you might have a canyon oak, but the native species is in fact the Oregon white oak. It just it gives you that nice country fried feel, you know, that rural feel, that signature to like tire swings and everything. There's just something about a savanna with all these big ancient gnarled oaks just all over the place. All their gnarls and their crooks and crannies, and there's a U.S. Forest Service pickup coming down the road. But yeah, it's fucking beautiful. Like, look at this, man. So beautiful. Oh, that's the cutoff, I assume. Though dandelions are not native to the North American continent, they were introduced from Europe. Did you know that they are actually incredibly medicinal? In fact, they are heavily used, including by the Native Americans. They were eventually quickly discovered to have tons of benefits and thus heavily utilized in order to cure different diseases and aid in increased health. There's a lot of different benefits to every part of the dandelion plant, and the entirety of it is able to be eaten, from the root to the flower to the leaves. I mean, technically not the seed head. I'm pretty sure that's not edible, but yeah, it's just an interesting little tidbit. So it's like one of those rarities where it may be invasive, but it's actually weirdly and wildly beneficial. And contrary to what most people say, where it's like, dandelions smell bad, I think they smell great, and they're very soft. So you always gotta pet them. This right here, if I recall correctly, the seed head, I found out, I believe, is burdock. And speaking of medicinal plants, yep. You can get your flood marker. 10 feet 1 inch. Oops, I have this way too high apparently. Look at that heron. He just took off flight. Over to the edge now. People hate that sound. I love it. I love the sound of cicadas. Big leaf maple. Dinosaur tree. Super cool. Also an old nest, I'm assuming. It's definitely, it looks like it's also spider webs. Whoops, too far. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, random ponderosas here they planted, huh? Those are young. You can tell they're such a specific layout that they planted those. I wonder why. Planted ponderosas here. It's an interesting choice. Especially for a wetland park that's dominantly that. That's an interesting choice to choose ponderosa pines. Huh. Yeah, look at all the big leaf maples, little baby big leaf maples. That's so cool. I love them dinosaur trees. That's such an interesting looking tree. It almost looks like it belongs in Africa. Or South America, because it almost has a punky muzzle. That's not dyslexic at all. A monkey puzzle looking growth pattern. Look at that. If you just isolated that by itself, you could fool a lot of people into thinking it's a monkey puzzle tree, which is South American. That's interesting. I wonder what kind of tree that is. I don't think it's an ash, but it might be. It has a similar leaf pattern, but it doesn't quite grow or look right. Speaking of what is likely Himalayan blackberries, it might not be, but no, that's Himalayan blackberries, alright. These are the worst. I really want nothing more than to be able to figure out the way to be able to declare war on these suckers and permanently rid them, because once this is the true concept of kudzu. Like, once this starts, it's never going away. They have such a... I actually have a video I want to make at some point about these stupid, evil things, because they suffocate, strangle, and inundate everything that grows around them, sadly. Not supposed to technically go in off the road, but I want to give you a close-up of this. Ponderosa pines are such nifty trees. Everything about them is larger than life too. Like, their cones are freaking massive. Just titanic cones. Definitely an ash. I guess it is an ash that I saw. Look at how the creek has kind of sunk a channel in to the left of this tree. You see right there? That's so cool. I love that, man. So this is the official walking trail. That's the seasonal trail. So this is the connector point I was talking about on the website. Interesting. Because of basketball, I've measured my hands before, and I have 8-inch by 9-inch hands. So, like, and that's outstretched. So if I do this, I mean, and this is such a young tree. This maybe is 20 years old, I think, at best. But it's just like, despite that, look at that. Look at that, dude. It's crazy. And I just mentioned its age because the bigger and older they get, the more immense these leaves get. And this is already so huge. I mean, look at that, dude. That's just crazy. I love it, though. These are some of my, always been my favorite plants, like dinosaur-like plants. Look at you, my friend. This is clearly one of the types of firs that they love to... Actually, I think that's more of a spruce pattern. Now that I think of it, that's got to be a spruce. But, like, that's one of those classic Christmas tree trees. Yeah, I'm pretty screwed. Yeah, you should see the shore. That's really cool. The drop off over there. Super neat. And then you have the hyperdevelopment of a sprawling urban American environment up there on that ridge, which I still think is a part of Bull Mountain. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And literally, I've been alive long enough to know that I remembered that being developed and built and torn down to build those things. So in case you did not know this, about the Tualatin River, or the Tualatin River, however you wish to say it, the Tualatin River, just like the Willamette River, are arguably the two most polluted water bodies in the entirety of the state of Oregon. And in fact, the Willamette River is by far the most polluted river in the entirety of the state. But that said specifically, the Willamette River, which of course the Tualatin is a tributary of, but the Willamette River was ranked the third most polluted and contaminated water body, including the oceans, in the entirety of the United States of America. I mention that because this is a tributary of the Willamette River. And the Tualatin, or the Tualatin River, for the longest time, was so incredibly polluted that they got pretty desperate to try to clean it up. And as far as I understand, I think it was the early 2010s when they felt like they finally, either that was the mid 2010s, I'm pretty sure it was the early 2010s, where they finally felt like they had properly cleaned it up and the results had shown on the official tests that they had properly cleaned up the Tualatin River. That's not to say it's not still one of the most polluted water bodies in the entire state, if not second most, because it very surely is still the second most polluted in the state. When my mom was growing up, because her entire family, and even extended family, used to live right in this exact region, this exact vicinity of the Tualatin Basin. So they grew up around here. They have tons of family history in this basin. And it's a heavy floodplain, especially back then. And it would flood very frequently. And they'd have one specific like major flood every few years, every 2 to 4 years. And that family, alongside of pretty much everybody who lived down there for a long time, pretty quickly confirmed that there was a problem with the Tualatin River every time it flooded, which was that every single time it did that major flood, every 4 or so years, there'd be a massive leukemia outbreak every time it flooded massively. This river literally caused leukemia to skyrocket, especially in kids. And 2 of my relatives, via my mom, her cousins, when she was little, they both died of leukemia because of this river flooding, which is one of the saddest things to say. But fortunately, that hasn't seemed to have happened or been correlated since. Instead, that's now blamed on Intel, which isn't surprising. So it has improved a lot, but just imagine it was so polluted at one point that it caused leukemia to skyrocket, and it was so correlated that the people who lived in the basin knew it. It's sad. One of the things that people always tend to fail to think about, especially when it comes down to past the surface, so to speak, especially with rivers and pollution and everything, is the fact that agricultural chemicals are such a problem. It's just like the amount of agricultural chemicals that get dumped into rivers and run off in rain and everything is absolutely absurd. And it's just an everyday way of life that we've had for the longest time. Go to Scrub JD and guest commentary. And it's just, accepted as like, oh, well, that's just a fact of life. Like, oh, people have to eat and everything. But there's an ability to be able to not use all these caustic chemicals in agriculture and growing our food. But nobody wants to think past that surface or consider trying to alter that and force that change to where we don't any longer rely so heavily on all these horrific chemicals that cause cancer, and nobody stops to think about the long-term ramifications and consequences of such a thing. Onward and offward. You got the mat and the never-ending wall of Himalayan blackberries. Oh, man. You see how big of a problem this is? And this isn't even the start of it. Like, this isn't even the... you'll never understand it until you, like, go way out in the, like, mountains and just see walls of this endless Himalayan blackberries. Super sad. It just never ends. Strangles and suffocates all the other native plants out. Steals all the nutrients. Look at this. It never ends. It never, look at it literally engulf the tree. The tree literally could be dead. And it'd be hard to tell. Still see 99, and of course we got the now rush hour backup. Sad. Same time, it's really cool, but it's also really sad. They literally never stop. They never end. One of the main things they do with this wildlife refuge is they do prescribed and controlled burns. And their reasoning, according to their website for it, is like the Native Americans, to be able to go out there and take care of invasive species like all these Himalayan blackberries we have around us. In fact, they specifically call out the Himalayan blackberry on their website, if I recall correctly. That's one of the reasons why they do it. Which says a lot. Because you notice, it doesn't actually have much, if any, impact. It's so incredibly temporary, it's extremely sad. Genuinely and absolutely relentless. You'll never ever get rid of them. Once they're there, they're permanent pretty much. And I want to be able to not give the status quo the light of day, because everybody's doing that, including the experts, and I'm just sick of it. I'm like, we need to get rid of this once and for all. And that's one of my goals in life with wildland restoration, to get to that point. Whether it's by somebody who invites me to live on their land, and that's one of the things I'm able to do, whether with them or by myself, besides helping them otherwise be a different kind of steward with their land and work, but be able to do the same thing with the literal wildlands that they might have on their property. And if not that, then way further in the future, hopefully sooner than I think, finally being able to have enough financial freedom to be able to afford to buy a bunch of land out somewhere. I hear a frog off to my right. I'm gonna try something. I was gonna point to the ground, but... The actual normal, native, and real hazelnuts, hazelnut trees are actually called filberts, and those hazelnuts themselves are actually technically filberts as well. But what's really cool about hazelnut leaves is they're super soft. I don't know if you can actually see the the fur. I would love it if it would be able to work with me, but it won't. But it's super soft. It's less furry on the top. It's still soft on the top, but it's so soft on the bottom to pet with the veins. Just behind these cream white berries is a hawthorn tree, and then a more mature one with red berries. Therefore, actually through the, look at that, through the white, you can sort of give way to the red. That's so cool. White berry, red berry. That's why I wanted that, because that's just really cool. Oh, it is so nice here in the shade. Not that it was really hot, and that, for me that's saying something with the sun out, but to begin with, because it really wasn't. But man, that's nice. Because of the moisture from the wetlands and stuff, it's so cool. It has an extra little coolness to it that you get with moisture. That's an ash. What is this, I wonder? It looks kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of like an aster. John, is that you? Is this John Jacob? Asterheimschmidt? I wonder how many times that reference has been made. Probably so many times that maybe people want to smash their head into a rock. Not bad. Is it a hoverfly? No, it's not hovering though. Definitely not a hoverfly. What is that? I've wondered what this is. I can't remember what these are called. Sorry, I keep messing up. What is he? Look like tiny beavers. Is he gonna go harass the duck? Yes. Oh, he's investigating him. Cute. That's a pelican, I think, isn't it? That looked a lot like a pelican more than an egret. Also, I'm used to egrets being way smaller. They're flocked together way down there. Oh, I'm curious now. That would be so weird if it turns out this is pelicans. Oh, there he is. Cute. So tiny. Maybe it is a muskrat. It's very cute. He's right there, actually. He's having a light salad. A nice light salad. It doesn't give a damn about me, my noise and everything, which is kind of cool. Disturbed a mosquito catcher, which is also known as a crane fly. They fly very drunken, which I find to be one of the most funny things. They're like practically incompetent at flying. There's some spit grass in here too. There we go. These are these yellow guys, yellow fellas, yellow fella. Look at these guys. Ain't that sick? That's so freaking pretty. Get out of my way. I mean, it's lighting's the other way, but you know, the same thing as this. I do wonder what those are. Those are super neat. Oh, there's a bumblebee on there. There you are. It's a bumbler. They actually sound like they're talking. That's funny. It's ducks. They're so cute, man. I love rodents. Look at them. How can you not think that that's cute? There's a baby. Tiny little baby. Cute. Make a kind of horn sound when they communicate, apparently. Super cute. Nice. Not as nice as in the shade, but it's nice. Those are pelicans. What in the heck? It's a pelican. These are freaking white pelicans. Brown pelicans are normal up here, but I don't know about even migratorily if white pelicans are normal here. I don't think so. I knew they were way too big to be, and they were too flocking to be egrets. The egrets are actually very slender and small like a heron. But, what in the heck? I wish the sun was in the right direction. Somebody pissed off the heron. Oh, hey there. Cute. That's what you said right there. Laying right there. I thought you were talking about the log. Yeah, muskrat. You're definitely not nutria. Oh, is that a black swan? Is that what you are? You are. Following the nutria, the muskrat. That's funny. It's a black swan. That's crazy. Yeah, those are snipes and pipers. Snipes. I think they move and look like a lot like woodcocks. They seem to have that sound. That's so interesting. So graceful. My goodness. Just want to let you know that you, sir, are adorable. Yeah, she got a fish. Would you look at that? Red-winged blackbird. Let's see what I didn't notice that before. Well, folks, I want to thank you guys for watching. It's been a while. But yeah, I realized something. I haven't even shown off. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate it, and thank you for the support. Staying subscribed is apparently a difficult task to do in the modern era on YouTube for any channel for some reason. Don't know why. That's always been the case. I've actually been content creator for I think it's actually about to be 9 years in January. Yeah, it's about to be 9 years in January straight, which is just insane. And various different channels, various different topics and focuses and things like that I focused on. But this is where the passion is. This is where I want to turn it into something like what Life at the channel Northwest Fishing Secrets or NWFS does and everything. That would be an ultimate goal. Even to get to like Samong Yangs. I don't know why I'm failing to speak. Probably because I haven't eaten since Narnia. But even something like that would be amazing. So, but yeah, I just love being able to explore and take you with me on all these different places. And it's both a boon and a negative. The fact that like it's a great thing, and it's kind of a little bit of a bittersweet or bitter good thing, if that makes any sense. Because I am somebody, though I've grown up my entire life, and next year in January as well, go figure, I'll actually be turning 30, which is insane to think about. This is the very first time changing number in my life has actually been kind of a weird feeling. But I just wanted to be able to start going out and doing these things, because there's endless amounts of things just in my own backyard, let alone in the state of Oregon, that I've never seen before. I haven't even really been in the vicinity of. Like, I haven't been to the South Coast before in my life. I haven't been south of Waldport, Alsea Bay, in my entire life. I mean, yeah, I have always said, by the way, my entire life, Alsea. Apparently most people in Oregon have always said it as Alsea. But let's just say Alsea about that. Yeah, I'm gonna drown myself now too. But this is why I would never be a comedian, because this, like, except to, I guess, children maybe, because it's like painfully Scandinavian dad jokes. That's me. But yeah, this is also the hearse. This is the beast, the Swedish tank. That's quite literally 3 to 4 years older than me. It's a 1990 Volvo 240 station wagon. It's really freaking cool. And I pretty much require old cars to drive. I learned that really freaking quick, because I did my driving lessons actually on a 2017 Nissan Rogue. Never again. Never again. Oh god. I can't stand modern vehicles. They are way too feathery. But I'm going to shut up now. And yeah, hope to see you guys in whatever my next video might be. Until then, see you around. Thank you for watching.